guys, my name is Emily. I'm the founder and creator behind everything you see here at EB Knits, and welcome to the EB Knits YouTube channel. Thank you for joining me today. I'm trying a little something different. So in 2021, one of my goals is to cultivate more of a community. I'm not sure yet who that community is going to consist of. I know who my target customer is for EB Knits, but I also know that I love talking about my knitting, and that might not coincide. So maybe it'll be a little bit of my target customer base, but a little bit of the maker community too. So we'll see what that encompasses, if anyone. But I really just love sharing my making journey, and I've also come to love business or entrepreneurship and what I think of as business of growing EB Knits. I'm really passionate about it. And I want to share that as well, give you more behind the scenes content, tell you more about what I'm working on, what's coming up, and hopefully we can interact together more and just create something special. So that is my goal for 2021 is to create more video content here on YouTube. So this is, I don't know if I want to call it a podcast. This is episode 1. I'm not sure if we're gonna call it a podcast or an update or what yet. But this year in 2020, I got very into, might have been, part of the quarantine and being stuck at home, very interested and delved deep into knitting podcasts, especially on YouTube, because, you can see what people are working on. So YouTube is the primary space to show that off, and I want to be part of it. I love watching the Grocery Girls, Christy Glass, some of the newer ones, Knitting Traditions, I Heart Knitting, and so many more I can't even name, but there are a lot of great podcasts out there, and I just love sharing my work, and I don't have a big maker community right now established, so I just want to interact and show off what I'm working on and talk about it, because I don't want to bore the people that I care about who don't care about knitting to death with all of my going on and on about it. So although I should say they say they don't mind, but anyway, let me stop saying let me get more used to this video content. Hopefully these feature ones will be better. And what I'm thinking is that around the 1st of every month, to coincide with the EB Knits newsletter, I'm just gonna go along with the newsletter content and talk about the business behind the scenes, what's going on, what I'm thinking about, what was popular, what's coming up, really kind of all of those details. And who knows what kind of tangents and asides I might get into. But I'm thinking that will be the focus of podcasts around the 1st of every month. I'm not setting myself up for specific dates because I just can't commit to that. I feel too much pressure. My work schedule is also inconsistent. So I don't want to say it's coming out on the 15th and then I have an extremely busy week and it comes out a couple days later or something like that. So I'm thinking, like I said, kind of a supplement to the newsletter, just updates in video talking to you form, around the 1st of the month, and then towards the middle of the month, I'm thinking more about what I'm actually working on. So this might be more personal makes, things that I'm works in progress for my personal garments, or accessories or whatever's going on at the time that I'm making, but also, what I'm working on for EB Knits and, just what I've got on the needles and more free form, what's going on at the time. I don't know. But that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. Hopefully I can stick to it. That's 2 videos a month. I feel like I can do that, hopefully. There's a truck going by outside, so I'm sorry if you can hear that. This is my little happy corner that I've made for myself, hopefully. So I'm wearing a sweater. This is a handmade sweater right now. It is handmade sweater right now. What does that even mean? This is a handmade sweater that I knit in January of 2020. So I had totally forgot that I made this one. It is the Ski Lodge Pullover by Erin Elizabeth W. It is made with all stash yarn, mostly Lion brand. It's almost all acrylic. So I'm pretty warm right now, and it's very oversized. I would go a size down if or when I make this again. I recommend the pattern just for me now living in a warm climate. I don't know when or if I'll be making so many sweaters. I'm knitting a lot of warmer garments or lighter weight sweaters because these heavy items I wear just a few times a year or when I go visit Illinois, which was the plan, but because of the pandemic and COVID, I'm not so much traveling. I've only been to Illinois once, and that was in September 2020. I didn't even share where I'm from. So I am originally from Illinois, the Chicago suburbs. I lived in Chicago for about 8 years, and then in early 2020, I moved here to Florida. I live in Orlando now, and I'm really enjoying it. I love all the colorful weather. I did miss fall. I did miss the changing leaves and wearing beanies and sweater weather, but I don't really miss all the gray or all the snow. Like a white Christmas would be nice, going on vacation, visiting would be nice, but I don't necessarily miss all the weather, but I do miss my family, of course. So they're still back in Illinois, and I'm hoping 2021 will bring a lot more travels and seeing them in person. So that's a little bit about me. I told you about my sweater I'm wearing. Oh, I kind of mentioned this is my knitting, this is my little corner that I just made up for myself. So, that's why I started talking about the sweater, because I've got a sun hat here. So I'm in Florida, sun hat. I haven't worn it in a few months, to be honest with you, but I really love it. It's kind of a pattern I mushed several patterns together that I researched into one. I've used raffia wool from Wool and the Gang. Raffia, and then I put beads and this cotton string around it. And again, I know it's not what my point that I was trying to get at was. I know that it's not really seasonal at this point, being winter, but it makes me happy, and I wanted somewhere to put it up, so I thought, why not my little corner that I'm trying to make for myself. These bins are my EB Knits inventory. So I am the maker and founder behind EB Knits. I focus now on using entirely eco-friendly materials and practices and packaging and decisions, and basically eco-friendly. How does this impact the environment goes into every decision I make with EB Knits, and that is a major driving factor in my business. And I create, knit, and crochet accessories. I'm thinking about branching out into accessories in general. And this is something probably I'll spiel about on this podcast or video content more, because you can hear my thoughts and where I'm thinking of going. So these are just my bins of inventory that I've made and have here. So that's obviously make related. This is just a frame. This is I recently tried watercoloring. So this is a watercolor picture that I made. It's today is December 31st, 2020, so it's still relevant for now, but I'll be replacing the picture with something different, maybe a better watercolor, who knows, in time. This just arrived today. I didn't even know, the total surprise. My sister got me a yarn bowl. Oh my gosh, and look at the heart. It's literally the cutest thing. I was so excited when I opened it. I didn't know, just randomly today she told me, you have a package that's being delivered. I'm like, what? I said, yeah. So she recently got into crocheting. She got herself a yarn bowl, and she's gonna paint it. And she said, I don't know if this will work with watercolor, because that's the tools that I have, is just the watercolors from when I've been goofing around making Christmas cards and stuff lately. But I just love it. Even just plain, I just love it. So I don't know, I'll try doing something with it, but for right now, it's just cute. It's adorable the way it is, and I'm absolutely in love with it. I think it's so cute and just so kind that she thought of me to do that. So I've placed that there as my newest addition. And then these two are, almost dropped all my yarn scraps. These are baskets. So baskets that I have made for EB Knits. Earlier, I've transitioned, so keep going on tangents. I guess you see how my mind works. I started EB Knits with hats, and then I transitioned to scarves, and then I moved to Florida, and I said, okay, I don't really need hats and scarves, but a lot of my customer base is still in Illinois, being family and friends, and that's where I'm from. But I've transitioned also into home goods, so I have coasters, I have baskets, I have hot pads. What else is in here? Like face scrubbies. And then this fall, I did still release a cowl and a bunch of different beading designs, because that's the reason I started knitting, and I love making beanies. They're still one of my favorite things. But these baskets were one of the first thing I released in terms of a home collection. This is a square basket. It's actually was like, a sample or tester pattern that design that I have not released with EB Knits. EB Knits is this basket and then a puff stitch basket. So anyway, this is just white Jersey Be Good yarn, it's called, from Wool and the Gang. I really like it. And this is the same thing, but I hand painted it. So it is recycled cotton. It's made from t-shirt scraps from a t-shirt factory in Turkey. And then Wool and the Gang picks up the cotton offcuts and turns it into yarn. So it is some thick and thin yarn. It's not totally reliable in terms of thickness, but that's okay. It's really sturdy and thick, which is great for these baskets. So I bought a bunch of white yarn and then I hand painted it. So I've got some neutral colors, some red, white, and blue colors from when it was near 4th of July. This is my favorite one. It's just blues and purples and pinks. And a little bit of white still. So I love this. This is really tiny. I don't have anything in it right now. It's been in my inventory basket for months now, but I said this is my favorite and it's not selling, so I might just take it out for myself. And this is just full of my yarn scraps. I try not to throw anything away. And I've got another bowl over here that's more full and I don't want to move, but got lots of all the pom-pom fluff and stuff and things that just scraps. So I found that that's reliable when I made pumpkins around Halloween time. So I would stuff it with these scraps and a little bit of plastic bags, and then I still use the polyfill around the edges because I didn't want this junk, like, not junk, but I didn't want these colorful yarn scraps peeking through people's pumpkins. So the polyfill was on the outside and the inside filler was all these scraps. So it's been really nice to save and just reuse. It's really big in what I'm interested in and what my goals are at EB Knits, like I said before about the eco-friendly aspect. So yeah, that's a little bit about me and EB Knits, and if you're not familiar, now you've got a huge mouthful about who I am. And let me slow down and take a sip of water and regroup. When I was Zooming with my family on Christmas, my grandma was like, "Emily, are you drinking from a jug?" No, it's just a big mug because I'm a water fiend. All right, so let's regroup. And what I wanted to talk about today, after all that, we're probably many minutes in by now, is just what I'm looking forward to into 2021. I was gonna kind of get used to saying that. That's so weird. So like I said, today is December 31st, 2020. Did I say that? Did I say it was December 30th? I don't know. All my days are all mixed up. But it's December 31st. It's New Year's Eve. So this video will be updated and published within the next few days. I'm looking in front of me at my January newsletter that I'm going to have going out soon. ebknits.org is my website if you want to check out anything I was talking about. I have an Etsy shop, EB Knits by Emily, if you prefer shopping on Etsy. EB Knits is my Instagram if you want to follow on Instagram. Knit_talk is my TikTok. I haven't posted on there in probably several months now, just because life got busy. But that was fun for a little bit, and hopefully I'll get back to that. I'm just trying to prioritize what brings in the most and creates the most community. So TikTok is not and what I'm interested in the most, and to be honest, I just haven't been on TikTok in a long while. So again, sorry, just referring to my January newsletter. I guess I was just pointing all that out, that if you want to find me, if you want to follow me, any of those platforms are wonderful. ebknits.org/links has a bunch of helpful links for you in terms of where you can find me. And then you can also sign up for my newsletter at my website as well. So my newsletter is just like a very brief, here's what's up, hey friend, here's what happened this month. And then it's just a lot of pictures. Biggest news of the month, I just share something that was, like I said, the biggest news. For this month in December, it was really just holiday orders. I had knit ornaments and trees that were really fun to make, so I was fulfilling those orders, and that was my primary focus in December. And then this last week or so since Christmas, I started a sweater, so I've just been taking some personal time, and that's been really fun for me personally. Oh, I also have a blog. So ebknits.org/ebknitsblog/ebknits-blog. On ebknits.org, you can go to the link that has my blog. So I, in this blog, have behind the scenes content, more information about every collection I launched, the materials, why I chose it, what are the designs, what are the colors, etc. But it also has three other categories that I love to share. So bringing you joy, that's a big aspect of my business, which just means, something that I found fun or I think you guys would like. Book recommendations are some big ones, podcast recommendations, something else I'm really interested in. The second category is, I'm actually going backwards. That would be the third category, is bringing you joy. The second category is small shop recommendations. So I'm a small shop, obviously, and I really love supporting my fellow small business owners because I know how passionate I am about my shop and my business and my products, and how happy it makes me when I receive an order. So I know what that feeling is like, and I want to give that to other small shop owners as well. And while I would love to personally support them with all of my dollars, I am on a budget, so I can't do that. But to recommending to you guys with gift guides and just like random, I had a fall, small shop gift guide and shops I love, and I just made two for the holidays. I had one specifically for pets, and then just one with a lot of other cool things that I found on Etsy that would be fun. So that is the second category of my blog, is small shop recommendations. And then the first category is eco-friendly tips for your lifestyle. So as I mentioned, being eco-friendly is really important in my business, but also translating that into my personal and everyday life is really important to me as well. So I'm still learning. I'm definitely not where I want to be yet. I'm still transitioning, but to do it all together and just share what I learn is really important to me, and I love adding that to the blog as well. So those are the categories that you could find on the blog if you're interested in. I was doing one post every single Tuesday, but then it wasn't getting that much traction, and it was very time consuming to write all these posts, to be honest. So I switched it to just every other Tuesday, and I'm thinking that will be a good balance. I'm gonna have 2 posts every month is my goal. I don't have any blog posts lined up right now for 2021. I used them all up through 2020, and I've got a lot of ideas, but I haven't created them yet. So I've got to get on that in the next few days to plan out my blog posts for 2021 as well. Or not all 2021, but the next month or so at least. So just scrolling down my newsletter, I'm looking at what else is new. In December, I don't have a lot of stuff going on. It was really, like I said, fulfilling orders, and then the end of December was just kind of self-care. I finished a blanket and I started a sweater. I've been working a lot, so it's really been a lot of self-care and not doing a whole ton of EB Knits stuff, to be honest. I've been rereading, though, I will, on the business side. I've been working on the business, less so in the business lately. I've been going back through a couple of educational courses that I purchased and read and went through before, but they've since updated, and just kind of seeing where I'm at now, 6 months to a year later, where I'm at and how I can improve. And I've realized definitely that I read, this is probably my 3rd or 4th time reading one of the master classes, and just how I interpret things differently, and how, while I didn't find it helpful before, now I'm in a place where I find it really helpful, or I thought it was unmanageable. I was at too much of a beginner phase at one point. Now I find certain tips and things like, oh, I can do that. I can accomplish that. So it's really cool to feel myself evolve and grow. And then I use Trello as an app just to organize all of my thoughts. And I've been really putting them down on paper and in the app, just planning 2021 and where I want EB Knits to go. And I've got some really exciting things to look forward to that I'm excited about. I hope you guys will be too, and I can't wait to share them all. I just am rambling right now, and I kind of want to wrap this up because I feel like I'm probably boring, and so I'm not going to go on and share all of those. But today, I'm gonna take another sip of water quick. So this morning I posted my top 9 most popular liked posts on Instagram from 2020, and I was actually surprised. I monitor my Instagram stats, but I guess I look more at my reach than I do at my likes, and I usually do like month by month, not the whole year. So it's really interesting to see that the whole year, really the top posts were my personal garments that I've made, and not so much my EB Knits products. So that's interesting. And then it's always like meet the maker or behind the scenes. Those kinds of posts do really well too. So in pictures of me, not the product. So that was something that I was a little bit surprised to see, that so many people like seeing my hand knits. So I think I'll share that more hopefully in 2021 as well, because I just want to, and I'm really excited that you guys like them too. That was my most popular on social. I always try and talk about that. Like I said, this time it was just a little recap of entire 2020. The monthly spotlight. So then I just finish it off with what have I been working on the most, what has I spent the most time on in the month. And this month it was really just holiday and Christmas ornaments, and then those Christmas trees. So it wasn't really something that upcoming in January people will probably still be interested in, because it was pretty much just festive and holiday season. And then I finish it off with what's coming up next, so you guys get some insider content. What is coming up next for me, I think, besides this video series, I'm thinking the next thing in the business will be pillows. I've had pillows on my mind for months now, and I think I'm finally ready to present them. So we'll see. I have to make the prototypes, I have to make the samples, I have to get all things finalized. I have some other collections in my head that I ordered yarn for. So, but those are all a little too early to talk about. But the pillows, I feel like, is definitely manageable, and hopefully you guys will like that, because at least for now we're still in our homes, especially if you're it's winter and it's actually cold where you are. You're still in your house, so maybe a cozy pillow or something would be a little fun addition to your home decor. So yeah, that is a little recap of my newsletter and what to look out for. Hopefully in time these videos will not be so long, they'll not be so rambly, and they'll be more exciting and not just babble in your face. We'll see. Yeah, I'm not sure what to share next. I feel like I've been talking your ear off, and I was gonna share some of my best sellers from 2020, just because I thought that was interesting. And I put that together. I'm gonna probably have a blog post about that as well, so maybe I'll save that for the blog post, just so I'm not super boring. I just pulled it up quickly. So the best sellers were my office shawl wrap, which I don't have one here actually. Do you guys know, so it was crazy on social media, my cousin told me about it. It's a shawl with pockets, and then sometimes it has fringe, it doesn't have to. It's called a Perfect Pocket Shawl by Knot Yourself Out, and then I've seen other designers kind of like, take that idea and make it their own or whatever. But Knot Yourself Out is the original designer of this idea, creator of this idea, as far as I know. And it was really popular on social media. My cousin shared it with me. I made one for her, I made one for my grandma, I made one for a few other people. And they are very time consuming, so they're not something I would typically share because of the time commitment, but because they were so popular, I'm offering them. They're still in my shop, just with limited color options if you want to take a look. Now maybe I'll insert some pictures, because I don't have it right here to hand up, and that's really boring just looking at my face. So hopefully I'll insert some pictures. Then we've got pumpkins. So around Halloween time I mentioned that I made pumpkins, and specifically the mystery pumpkin pack was really popular. So I just offered 3 pumpkins in mystery colors. I would use what scrap yarn or what yarn I had available at my house, and I used sticks that I found outside as the stems, and I mentioned already how I filled them. So that was really popular for me as well. The Christmas decor, the Christmas ornaments, those were popular. I sold several scrunchies, which I'm revamping, and I'm gonna look out for that too, because I won't get into that because that's something else on. I just said that I'm excited to do that too. So scrunchies and hair stuff is coming back. And then finally, in terms of home, the Fringe coaster. Fringe boho coaster was by far the most popular home item. They have gotten so much love, not only on Instagram, but like I said, also most purchased. And I'm excited that you guys all love them. I almost didn't make that design at all. So it's not mine, it's For the Frills designed the coaster. And I thought it was cute, but then I was putting it together and I was like not loving it. Sent a snap to my sister when it was half done. So I mean, it wasn't even done, but she said, no, keep doing it, it looks good. And she asked her friend, who also, I think it was a friend who crochets too, and said, no, try it, keep going. And I did, and thank goodness I did, because you guys love them. They, again, are time consuming because of all the fringe, but it's worth it if you guys love it. So yeah, those are some of my most popular. I'll hopefully, like I said, put pictures on screen and make a blog post of those with a little 2020 recap as well. So sorry for talking your ear off. I think I'm going to go now. And yes, I will probably see you in a couple of weeks if I stick to this schedule where I talk about my whips, works in progress, and what's going on in a couple weeks. So have a great new year. This will probably post it after the new year, so I hope you had a great new year if this is posted after the 1st. Stay safe. Happy 2021. Let's hope it's much better, safer, happier, and filled with much more positivity than 2020 was. So thank you so much for watching. If you're watching, you watch all the way through. Oh my God, you're freaking incredible. And yeah, much more to come. I will get better at this. I promise I will try. Thanks, guys.